Hey, look who it is, and I'm glad that you're back. In today's video, I'd like to talk to you about this. This is the BiMonk Rechargeable Desk Fan. I know I've been doing a few fan reviews lately, and there's a very good reason for that. Pretty much the last week I've had here in Michigan, well, maybe longer than a week, it's been anywhere from 90 to 95 degrees, normal temperature, plus a lot of high humidity. Now, of course, we all have air conditioning, but the problem runs into sometimes that with everybody having their air conditioning on, you could possibly have a brownout and or blackout. So having something like this in your home, at least one, possibly maybe even two, is a great idea, because if you have a brownout or a blackout on these hot days, you have some way of staying cool. Now let's get into what this fan really is and all the specifications. It does have a 5200 milliamp hour battery built into this. And it also has a timer, which is really nice, which means after a certain amount of time, it actually shuts off. And the timer runs from 1, 2, 4, and 6 hours. So if you set it for the 4-hour mark, it will run. 4 hours later, it'll shut off. And that's kind of nice, actually. The front grill does come off, so you can clean it. And at first, it's going to be a little hard for you to get this fan or the grill off. So be very careful, but it does come off, as you can see. So you can wipe off the blades and even the grill if it gets a little funky and grimy. So that's kind of nice that they do it. Now the best way I found to get this off is you're actually doing it a little different. With my right hand, you push up. With my left hand, you got to push down. When I first got it, I was doing it and it really didn't loosen, so I would alternate in between the little grill tines here so I wouldn't break any. And eventually it finally worked its way through, and I was able to get it on and off really easy after that. So please be careful when you're trying to take the front grill off so you don't break it, okay? Please remember that. Now, they boast that this will last anywhere from 6 to 48 hours. Well, in my testing, I had this set on a low setting, and I'd put it on me at night so when I'm sleeping, I can stay cool. And in the morning, it was still running on low. And that happened to me for 2 nights, and I got good 8 hours sleep each night. So I can attest to at least a good 16 hours on the low setting, okay? And it still had to charge, like I said, the next day, and I was ready to go. So depending upon the speed, the fan speed, you will get up to that 48 hours of runtime. It does have a built-in Nightlight as well. And I don't know how good the camera is gonna, and it's not a bad little nightlight. It's just enough really to kind of light up your room a little bit so you can see what the heck you're doing. It's not going to be like a great flashlight or anything, but it's nice that it's actually built in. It does oscillate, which is really nice, which means basically, you know, it does that turning thing. But it can do 30, 60, 90, or 150 degree angle. So if you only wanted to go a little bit of an oscillation, you could do that. If you wanted a lot larger, you can do that as well. You can have it do that. It also has what's called a natural setting. Just like the last fan I had, where it had the natural wind, this one has a natural setting, or a breeze effect. It'll run for about 5 seconds, and then it'll shut off for 5 seconds. Run on for 5 seconds, and off for 5 seconds. And it'll keep doing that until you press the button again to keep it on the lowest setting. And let me turn it on the highest setting for you right now. And I'm gonna have it at arm's length away from me just for a few seconds, just to see if my lapel mic is picking up any of the noise. Now, When I was using this fan to go to sleep with, I had it about 4.5 feet away from me, and I had it on one of the lower settings, and it did fine for me. So you can actually have this thing quite a distance away from you. And let me see, can I get it to oscillate for you? And as you can see, it's oscillating at the 30-degree angle right now. And let me turn it up a little bit so that's, there you go. And let's do the 150-degree oscillation as I'm speaking, just so you can see it kind of in action. Now, this fan will work when you are charging it as well, but the problem with that means is it'll take a lot longer for the battery to charge up. But it is a nice function to have, that you can use it while charging, because some devices, you can't do that. So that is really nice. They do suggest that you have a 5-volt 2-amp charger to charge this. They say it in the direction or in the instructions. It's not me, but that's what they suggest, so fine by me. Okay, time to shut this off. And I do like how it folds up in a nice little thing, so it folds flat. On the back is where you're going to charge it. Here's the micro USB port to charge, and right here, let me move my finger, right here is a USB Type-C charging port. So you got 2 different cables you can use to charge this. So if you don't have any USB Type-C cables, only micro USB, you're good to go. If you only have the USB-C type cables, you're also good to go. So that's great how they have that. Now you do have a total of 4 buttons. The first button is your on and off and speed control. The second one right there is for the fan oscillation, to either turn it on, off, or have a certain type of degree, The third button right there is your timer button. And the last button right here is to turn on and off the Nightlight. So once again, I'd like to reiterate why it's nice to have a fan like this. Yes, you can use it maybe outdoors. You can definitely use it when you're hiking or camping, if you're a prepper. Or basically, it's really nice to have just in case you do get a power outage. So if you happen to be somewhere where you do get a lot of power loss, or even just a brownout, especially during hot times like this, this is great to have. It's also great to have just to have in your home, where sometimes there's a corner or a room that doesn't get quite cool enough, where you can turn this on at the low level, and you can even angle it maybe going up or down, so it can maybe blow some of that cooler air into that room or into that corner that doesn't always seem to get quite as cool as the rest of the home. So it's great for that. It's also great too for the wintertime if you think about it. Same thing. Sometimes you might have that one corner or that one room that doesn't necessarily get warm enough when you're trying to heat it up during the wintertime. Use something like this, where it's not that pushing that much air, but it is. Put it on the low setting, let it blow that warm air into either that room or that corner, and you're great. You're good to go. Help circulate that air. Either way, whether you're using it to help heat your home or help cool your home, it might help you actually save a little bit more money on your heating and cooling bill and your power bill, especially because if you're rotating that air a lot better and it's circulating, that means that the thermostat, the furnace, or the air conditioner will go off a lot sooner. So do I recommend the BiMonk Rechargeable Fan? You better believe I do. Like I said, this thing pushed a lot of air. I had it 4.5 feet away from me, and it kept me cool all night long. It kept running all night long for 2 nights. That's a total of 16 hours, and it still had a charge the very next day. The LED light, like I said, is definitely bright enough to light up your room, light up your tent, so you can see what you're doing, so you're not going to trip and fumble over anything. I do love the oscillating effect on it, so it can go at a wide angle or a very tight angle. That's very nice. And especially I like how it folds up. I mean, come on. You can have it facing down, or you fold it up, and you can even stick this in your desk drawer if you really wanted to. So there's a lot of pluses about this little fan. And so yeah, I do recommend it. It gets my seal of approval. You need to get one today. And you know what? If you really liked this video, please give it that thumbs up. Please share it on all of your social media sites. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button down below. It would mean a lot to me. It'll also mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe bell. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Even if you hated the video and don't like the way I do things, there's always a few out there. Please leave them comments. I just don't want you to feel left out. And you know what? Until the next video, you keep cool and you have a great day.